Welcome into the Sic Em Podcast. I'm your host, John Morris. Baylor freshman Yves Missi has one of the most fascinating journeys in all of college basketball.
I was very young at the time, and I really didn't speak English at all. And it was really like the first time for me traveling by myself. I went to the U.S. Custom. They tried to ask me questions. I don't really know what to tell them. And I'm just using Google Translator on my phone, trying to tell them what I'm doing here, who I am.
After picking up a basketball for the first time less than 5 years ago, Yves is now one of the top freshmen in the entire nation.
And my parents also play basketball. They both play the national team actually. And it was always something around. Everyone was playing basketball. When you're young, they don't try to force you to play a specific sport. And I just like soccer because it's like the main sport in Cameroon. And, just watching my brother, I kind of started playing basketball too.
Now, as his first year comes to a close, Yves hopes that he can leave a lasting impact on the program. Yves Missi. But you have heard every combination, haven't you?
Yeah, I hear a lot of combination.
Any of them that are really off the wall strange?
The crazy one has to be Yves, I think.
Yves,
yeah.
Okay, all right. They're just pronouncing every letter of your name. Well, you're making a name for yourself in your freshman season here at Baylor. Let's go back to your youth. Born in Belgium, grew up in Cameroon. What was that like for you?
I don't really remember much about Belgium, but I grew up in Cameroon, with my family. And I have 4 siblings. My brother left when I was, I think, 4 years old. He went to Montverde. And my sister followed the year after. So I really grew up with like my 2 other sisters.
Okay.
And then my brother and sister were just coming back every summer, just hanging out with them. It was cool.
Good. 3 sisters, 1 brother, right?
Yep.
All right, very good. And let me get this right. They're all doing very well for themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Stephen, your brother, played at Harvard.
Yep.
And he's now a bank consultant in Paris.
Yep.
1 sister, I'm sorry, I don't know her name, is a doctor.
Yep.
And married to a surgeon.
Yep.
Another sister has a clothing line in Paris.
Yeah.
And, your other sister's an engineer.
Exactly. You got it right.
All right. So your family's doing very well.
They're all doing good.
That's great. I remember one conversation on a road trip, and you're sitting at the table with Jason, I think, Jason Smith, and he's giving you a hard time. Like you're the slacker in the family.
Apparently that's who I am. I'm just playing basketball. That's crazy.
That's great. Well, again, you're making a name for yourself. When did you start playing basketball?
I would say I started playing basketball 2020, like middle of 2020. And then that's the year I was thinking about moving to the US for high school basketball. And I think I started with a basketball camp. It was called Why Not Me?
Uh-huh.
And I think I was the best young prospect for this camp for some reason. I don't really know how, but I barely remember what happened during that camp. But I know I was getting some bucket.
Yeah.
And from there, I had a coach who texted me, and his name is Coach Joe Tomo. He worked for NBA Academy in Africa. And he just told me that here from the school, West Nottingham Academy, they're looking for a guy who can play. And I just sent some video of me dribbling the basketball, just shooting, so you can see how it looked like. And then from there, I moved to US, I think, December 2020. And I arrived, I think, on January 1st, 2021, I believe. And it was during COVID year, so it was really a tough time, but it was cool.
Yeah. So growing up, did you play any other sports?
Soccer.
Soccer's big, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Were you always, you're 7 feet now, were you always biggest guy?
No,
or?
I was slightly the biggest guy, but not like as big as everyone else, just a little bit, but nothing crazy. And then I just started growing very fast.
We mentioned your brother Steve played at Harvard, 3-time All Ivy League selection.
Sure.
He's older than you?
Yeah, way older.
Way older?
Yeah,
How many
he's
years?
31.
31?
Yeah, 31 years old.
So he's like 10, 11, 12 years older than you.
Yep.
Yeah. Did that, with his success in basketball, did that kind of get you more interested?
Definitely. I just started watching his tape, And my parents also play basketball. They both play the national team actually.
Oh wow!
And it was always something around. Everyone was playing basketball. When you're young, they don't try to force you to play a specific sport. And I just like soccer because it's like the main sport in Cameroon.
Right.
And just watching my brother, I kind of start playing basketball too.
So your mom and your dad both on the national teams?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a great history there. What was it like when you left Cameroon? You said you came to the United States. I mean, that's tough.
I was very young at the time, and I really didn't speak English at all. Actually, probably the only sentence I knew was "Good morning, how you doing?" and that's about it. And during that time, you could only student athlete could travel. So it's an F1 visa, is a type of visa. Only this type of people are allowed to travel. And so my mom or my dad couldn't travel with me to just make sure everything was fine. So I traveled by myself. And it was really like the first time for me traveling by myself, just going to the world and see how it looks like. And then whenever I arrived, I wasn't really speaking at all. Even at the airport, I went to the US Custom. They try to ask me questions. I don't really know what to tell them.
Oh, that's tough.
And I'm just using Google Translator on my phone, trying to tell them what I'm doing here, who I am. And then I think I did like 2 hours at the airport that day. But yeah, it was fun.
What age were you then?
15, 16.
Okay.
Around.
That's tough. I mean, you come to a new country by yourself and you don't really speak English.
No.
But you made it. Do you speak a number of different languages?
Yeah, I speak French, English. I mean, French is my first language, English, some Spanish, and I know a little bit of some language from Cameroon, just a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, very good. All right, cool. How about when you got here and you get plugged in, it's more organized basketball, isn't it?
Yeah.
For you, really, for the first time?
Yeah, so whenever I get there, I told you I went to West Nottingham Academy.
Right.
And during that year, I came in January, so from September to January, I was just like an online student, I would say. And we didn't have a season. We played one game that year. And that was the rest of the time we were just practicing. So I was just practicing with the other guys, I'm getting beat every day. But it made me better for sure. And the year after, that was my first high school year.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, starting out and you hadn't really played and everything's new to you. Kind of took your lumps a little bit there, didn't you?
Yeah.
And what was the connection that got you to Prolific Prep?
So after so I finished the year at West Nottingham. It's May, I'm playing AAU. Then I'm coming back to West Nottingham, I think it's September. And then we play our first high school season. Then our coach is leaving, so most of the players are also leaving, so I'm looking for a new school. And I got Jeremy, who's like the co-director for Prolific, who texted me on Instagram, telling me he saw me play and he want me to go to Prolific. So I talked to my family, AU coach. Then I went to Prolific. That's how it ended.
Yeah. So you're still by yourself. You don't have family.
Yeah.
Now you're moving to California. Are you living by yourself? Are you living with a family, or what was that like?
So I was in the boarding school, and whenever I moved to California, I stayed with the host family.
Host family?
Yeah.
Great. You still close with them?
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm sure they appreciate your progress in basketball.
Yeah, for sure.
And watching you now. And you were on really good teams. I mean, there's some good players there, right?
It's probably one of the best teams I've been a part of beside this one.
Then you played more recently in the Nike Hoop Summit before you got here. Yep. Am I right? You went against Jacoby and Team USA?
Yeah.
And Miro was on your team?
Yeah, it was Miro, me, the rest of the team world against Jacoby and the USA.
Yeah, that's funny. Were all you guys coming to Baylor? Did you know that at that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone knew.
Yeah.
We were just messing around, trying to know each other.
Right. That's great. And then you end up here at Baylor, and all you guys are playing a lot as a freshman. I mean, you and Jacoby are starting in the starting lineup. What's the jump been in the level of basketball? I mean, your high school in Nike Summit, I mean, that's a really high level. But you come to Baylor in the Big 12, that's another jump.
I mean, it's the best conference for a reason, I wasn't really expecting the physicality and how fast we play in general, the pace. And I'm just trying to get used to it. I'm trying to get used to it a little bit more. And, I just love this team. And it's pretty amazing. Just be able to play his first high school season 2 years ago and now playing in the Big 12. So just.
And actually, I'd forgotten this, but you reclassified, didn't you,
Yes,
to
sir.
be here? I mean, you should be in high school right now.
Yeah.
Are you 18?
I turned 19, yeah.
Just turned 19, but you should be in high school, and here you are starting for a top 25 team in the best conference in America. That's pretty amazing if you think about it.
It's pretty insane. Just a blessing from God.
Yeah, yeah, very good. That's a good way to put it. What was involved in that decision, and who helped you with that to reclassify and come here early?
It was always something around. So whenever I came here, it was during the COVID year, so we didn't finish school in Cameroon.
Okay.
So half of the other semester, we didn't do it. It was online, and we just stopped. So I had to take some classes back. So I think I took a lot of classes at West Nottingham just to be on top of it. And we just found out that I could just graduate whenever I wanted. So
Yeah.
I just talked to my parents, and we just did the move.
I got you. As we've already said, with your brothers and sisters and your family, I mean, you do the work in the classroom also.
Yeah, I have to. It's a
Right.
must. It's a must.
But that helped you to have that option to reclassify and get here. What was the recruiting process like?
It was good. I had a lot of school texting me most of the time, but Baylor was definitely the one on top. Definitely the one that I started talking to very early on. And, you just keep on building a relationship. And then from there, I just felt like it was the right place.
Good. Who made the first contact with you from Baylor?
I think it was Coach Jacobs. I believe it was Coach Jacobs, yeah.
That's what I would have guessed. Yeah, absolutely. And ultimately, what was it about Baylor that had you sign here?
Just the culture. Whenever I came here on my visit, I really liked it. Everyone looked like a family over here. So I just felt like it was the right place.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel at other place, and I just liked it.
Yeah, and that's the case, isn't it? When you get here, you find out, yep, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Very nice. How about, again, we talked about you playing as a freshman, not just playing, but starting for Baylor in the Big 12. I think about the big guys you've gone up against. Like we played Duke at Madison Square Garden. You're going up against Kyle Filipowski. You play Hunter Dickinson in Allen Fieldhouse. And you more than hold your own against those guys.
Yeah, trying to.
Yeah. I mean, when you go up against those guys that are very highly thought of, is that a big challenge for you?
I'm just very excited because, for me, 2 years ago, my dream was just trying to play basketball, prolific, or just want to top high school. And then now I'm just playing the Big 12. So I'm just taking any opportunity. Yeah. And then it can be LeBron, anyone. I would just try to play my best and try to help my teammate.
That's amazing. I mean, you're saying 2 years ago, you just want to play basketball, and now look where you are. That's a huge jump for you. But you're handling it really, really well. And the challenges keep on coming for Baylor. What's that? I mean, that's a pretty sharp learning curve also. What's that been like? I mean, learning on the fly and getting better so quickly.
Just listening to watch coaches, in general, or anyone around, teammates, and just take the goods. And, sometimes people think they're right and they might not be right. So most of the time I think I'm right. But whenever a coach or my team is telling me something, I'm just taking the time back to just think about it and see what I can change. Okay. And watch a lot of film also helped me a lot. I try to watch a lot of film all the time whenever I'm just bored, just watch film.
Good.
And it helped me a lot.
Of yourself, of other guys, of other games?
Most of it's our game or maybe a team we're going to play. I'm just trying to watch the game and just see how they play.
Tell everybody about Bill Peterson, and I don't know that people realize what a contributor he is to Baylor's success. He works a lot with you individually.
Yeah, definitely. After every game, watching film is like a tradition now. If I don't watch film with him, something is definitely wrong. And whenever he was sick lately, I was texting him to see how he was doing. But yeah, I have a really good relationship with Coach B.
Yeah, but he's great. He is great to have.
One of the best.
So when you started playing, you said, it wasn't that long ago. How tall were you when you first started?
I think I was 6'6" or 6'5", something like that, yeah.
And then a growth spurt after that, after that?
Yeah, crazy growth spurt actually. Because I remember whenever I left, my dad was way taller than me. And then he saw me the summer after, we were the same height. And then the summer after again, I was taller than him. He was very surprised.
That's great. How tall is your dad?
He's 6'10".
He's 6'10".
Yeah, he's
That's
6'10".
nice. What size shoes you wear?
15.
15. Very good. Do you remember, 6'6" when you start playing? Were you dunking from the beginning, or when did you start dunking?
I was dunking, but I wasn't like crazy athletic.
Right.
I was just like a regular 6'6" guy who can dunk a little bit, but nothing crazy.
I gotcha. And how about defensively and the block shots? You're second in the Big 12 in block shots right now. When did that become? How did you buy in defensively?
I don't really know when or how. I just feel like he just started coming together for some reason. I just really like playing defense. And I think it was whenever I get to West Nottingham between January and May, we were just playing against each other all the time because it was like it's a boarding school, so you're just a bunch of basketball players playing every day. And then from there, you start liking playing defense, block shots, and I think that's how I took it from.
Which is better in a game, a block or a dunk?
I would say block.
Yeah.
Block changed a lot of things. It changed the momentum of the game, so I would definitely say block.
I would agree with you, yeah. And you've had a bunch of those this year. How has your game evolved, changed, got better in your time at Baylor?
I would say I'm starting to read the defense a little bit better. And, at the beginning, I was just trying to finish the play. Now I'm trying to create for others also, trying to pass the ball more, get some assists.
Yeah.
So.
We said on the radio the other night, first game against BYU at home, 0 points, 1 rebound.
Yep.
Second game against BYU, you're right there close to a double-double against them. Is that an indicator of how your game's improved over the course of this year?
Yeah, definitely. That game was definitely a game changer. I mean, it definitely clicked me in my head. I think that was the first time I had 0 points.
Really?
And I watched that game so many times because I was trying to fix and see what I did wrong and what I could do better.
Your free throw shooting's gotten really good too.
Yeah.
You've obviously worked on that a lot.
Yeah, thanks to Coach Drew and Coach Ty. Just come in the gym, shoot 100 free throws, see how many I can make in a row.
Very good. Shout out Ty Beard.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. What's it like playing with Jacoby here and Miro here, some freshmen, and all of you guys are contributing? That's got to be fun for you.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, just a bunch of young guys with dreams. That's how I would say it. And, just play with each other is very nice, and I really like them. So,
back to that Nike Hoop Summit when you played with Miro and against Jacoby. Who had the best game in that?
I don't really remember.
Yeah.
I think all three of us didn't play that much. We were just having a lot of fun during that week, practicing. But I don't think there's one have a better game than the other one, but we just playing around and like each other. So.
I got you. Very good. What about off the court? You spend a lot of time in basketball practice, watching tape, as you said. When you get a break from basketball, what do you like to do?
Just sleeping a lot. Sleep a lot. Maybe watch some videos on YouTube, just hanging out with my friends.
Any hobbies in particular?
Not really. Used to be soccer, but now I don't play anything else besides basketball. So.
Yeah. As I think back, Akeem Olajuwon played for the Rockets. Didn't he play soccer when he was growing up too?
I think so. I believe he did.
Yeah, I think he did, which was always interesting because he's a big guy, and you think about him playing soccer. I think he did kind of like you. Soccer was his first sport before basketball.
Yeah.
Does that help? I mean, hand-eye coordination, the soccer background?
I would say it gives you some good fit. You move quicker on your feet, and you definitely move more freely than someone who didn't play soccer.
Good. As you watch the game now, either other college players or NBA players, who do you like to watch, and do you really pattern your game after anybody?
I would say my fellow Cameroonian, Pascal Siakam and Joel Embiid. I like watching them play.
Well, very good, very good. Joel Embiid went through the Big 12 also.
Yeah.
So that's fun to think about. Can you, do you spend a lot of time watching them? Kind of trying to pick up things from them?
Whenever I can watch one of their game, I just try to watch it. But I used to, when I was a little younger, just watch how they play. And I was just a big fan of them.
Yeah. You're part of a historic season. We moved from the Farrell Center, started the year here, and then moved to Foster Pavilion. What's that move been like?
It's really nice. It's different, whenever I start, the first game at the Foster was definitely something different. Even how people cheer on the court and just the noise around. It was really nice. I really liked it.
It is a really good home court advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, the atmosphere is pretty insane. It's
right.
Pretty good, yeah.
Right. Fans are really good.
Yeah, it definitely helped us a lot this year.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about you guys, you're freshmen who are contributing, but there's some veteran guys that are there, here with you also, like Jalen, like Ray J, even Jaden, veteran guys. How much have they helped you younger guys? Because they've been through things like this before.
Someone like John, for example.
Yeah.
I'm taking a lot of advice from John. He's my roommate actually during trips. So just so someone was one of the best defender in the Big 12, one of the best players also, it's just good to take advice from them, and they help us to grow even better and faster.
Yeah. I was saving John for a specific question because what a guy, huh? What he's been through and what a team player he is. And I would think that's got to be a lot of fun for you and very educational to be around him and room with him.
Yeah, and what's funny is I remember whenever Baylor won the national championship, we were in the living room with the rest of the team. And then we were watching the game, and someone told me that John was on camera, but I didn't know John at the time. And I look up on Instagram, and then I was just like a big fan of John.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing with him. It's pretty insane.
That is great.
Yeah.
He is he's such an inspiration in a lot of ways, to all of us. And I'm sure to you, too. I mean, you're around him as much or more than anybody right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, very good. How about Coach Drew and the staff, and talked about Coach P, and how he spends a lot of time with you. But what about the staff as a whole? How's that been?
I like the staff a lot, just the joy that they bring every day and the passion that they come with. And, I just like taking advice from them. And, they have a lot of experience with guys. And just learning from them every day is a blessing.
Good. We're in February. We got some big games coming up, and then the Big 12 tournament and the NCAA tournament. Some of these older guys telling you what's ahead, what's coming for you.
Yeah.
That's going to be big.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then for you, I'm guessing you'd like to play beyond college. Would you like to play in the NBA?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my dreams, to play in the league. Mm-hmm. It's something I would love to accomplish if possible.
Very nice. And Baylor has a good history of draft picks coming out of here recently, a top 16 pick, 3 years in a row. Yeah. So coming here, there's a record of preparing guys. We say preparing champions for life at Baylor. And for you guys, it's preparing you for maybe the NBA.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case. It's really nice.
Be great. What about a question? You're just a freshman. But ask you this, when your time at Baylor is done, whenever that is, how would you like fans to remember you?
That's a good question. I would say just like a team player, someone who's willing to help his team to win, and I would just do whatever it takes to make my team win.
You've done that. I think you're a fan favorite already, so we appreciate it, and thanks for visiting with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks again for joining us on the Sic Em Podcast, a sport and story production. If you enjoyed this conversation with Yves Missi, head over to BaylorPlus.com where you can watch the premium video version of this podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcast, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. I'm your host, John Morris, and I hope you'll join us next week on another edition of the Sic Em Podcast.